direct in a good way with what you felt needed to be the right ways to lead a team. And
you keep pushing me in a direction, but I stay on the positive side.
it'll get us cut down from Instagram.
Espresso time, not. All right, so I started.
Yeah, it started. We've got our first coffee time episode. We're going to call it coffee time, I think, right? It's the same time as a coffee.
Plus I'm Italian, and you like Italy, and what we eat.
I think I'm the one in the Italian gear, so it explains a bit. I thought we'd go over all the questions. I think there's been so many changes. We'll go over what the new name. I guess we can reflect on the Olympic Games. We haven't talked really about the games since.
We can the name first, because it's something we all care, and also all of us, especially the three of us coaches who have opened this new adventure. We care about positive messages, and our name is simple. Sydney represents the city that we live in. Actually, has become my home in these 15 years. The academy is the key word for us, because we believe we are teachers. Yes, we are looking after our kids. We teach them. We let them understand how training works, how improving is important, how the ability of becoming a better fence and a better person is important. Also, the academy is going to teach coaches to become coaches. We have some instructors, very young, they come. We would like to teach them the job. So in the end, it's a place, like a school, where people enjoy learning most of all. That does not take away the objective of doing it as good as possible and going as far as possible. Ambition is part of us. Our career says so, but we don't need to say it every day. We train with a smile and we keep going. The other part, of course, is fencing, but fencing for us, it means not just taking a sword and do something. Fencing for us is much more than this. It's creating a group of people who like to stay together, a team that help each other, not individuals who come and take what they need from the group, from the teachers. Totally the opposite. A group of people who grow together. And that's what us is fencing. I've grown up this way in Italy. I believe my colleagues feel exactly the same. We had done it before. It's always been this way, a group of fencers of any weapons, any gender, any age, any level, that together grow up, enjoy, and become good together. That's what fencing is for us, not coming and take something. Very much the opposite. A team is a team sport. It's only dressed as an individual sport, but it's a team sport.
It seems like a different philosophy to, I think, what other people might see from academy, though, right?
Absolutely. Let's say other people is a very relative word.
Well, I mean, if people come in and they see the word academy, you might think that it's only associated with, the medals or the performance, right?
Or vice versa. Maybe academy can be school. People go to school to learn. I believe people give the meaning they want, but once they come in after one trial, they will find a very friendly environment of people that respect the students, because we know we have a task when somebody comes. A child of any age, of any ability, for us is somebody that can become a better person more than a better fencer. Again, I say, it doesn't mean the results for us are not important. Our history says that we are the group of people with more Australian titles and international results in Australia in the last 15 years. This is a fact. But we don't need to brag about it, or we don't need to talk about it. We like to teach. People need to come and find a place that is almost family-owned and is run in a competent, but yet in a very relaxed manner.
That said, with all the friendliness and joy, we think we do need to touch on the reflection from the Olympic Games, because we haven't yet, and once every 4 years means that I think it's as prevalent in the news cycle as we can get.
It was nice. I enjoyed it very much, actually, on Stan, I must say. I was looking at all different channels.
Other distributors are available. We're not sponsored yet, but Stan, if you want to come sponsor us.
Yeah, if they want, they can. It was amazing to click from one sport to another and choose the sports I liked most. And among those, basketball or athletics or swimming, fantastic. But there was a chance to see fencing in many ways without having to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do so. Some they did, I'm sure. I got some people I know.
I did.
They did, yes. And they were very interesting games.
Hong Kong was fantastic. Seeing Vivian and Edgar defending his title.
Absolutely. Some results, they say a lot of what fencing has become, and we're always at a spread. And now some countries they're struggling, I think, to keep up with the new ones, with the spread of knowledge around. Let me say first that fencing at the Grand Palais in Paris, where I've been precisely with the Australian team in 2010 for the World Championship, it's amazing. I don't think that there's another place in the world where you can enjoy fencing most, at least from the TV point of view. But even in there, I remember there was a very special experience. It's not a sports center, but it seems like to be somewhere in another century and enjoy it. Literally beautiful. On the results side, I have some bullet points, very clear to me at least. Not easy to describe every single event, but number one is enough to look at the medal tally. Japan is on top of it, and I believe it's the first time. With only 2 gold medals won, but gold medals would count more rather than the number of medals, where France won 7 more than anybody. But the 2 golds put Japan together with the USA on top of it. Japan amazing. After winning men teams in Tokyo, they won 2 other gold medals, including one of the most iconic weapons, because really the challenge there is amazing. It was men's foil. They've been looking at winning at that event for a long time.
I mean, I think we all remember, what was it? One of the most analysed matches that you gave the men's foil team back in the day was the 2012 with the final where Italy just came short
Japan.
of.
Because I've been admiring Japan since they started their cycle with Coach Oleg. And Japan has become, for me, the nicest foil, as much as I'm Italian, the nicest foil around. A good combination of the Italian style with the Asian commitment and maybe physicality, if you like it, if you think about the speed and so on. They moved away from any stereotype of any schools. They've done something amazing. And they had a fantastic champion in Ota in the past, who was world champion. But destiny wanted, and I must say I predicted this, because I told the coach many years ago that when Ota would be gone, the new kids might win more as a team, because the legacy there is huge. And the people who are coaching there, both French, they're doing a good job in combination with the Japanese coaches. In fact, this mixing, this medley between European coaches and Asian roots in some countries is working great. And this is the example of Hong Kong as well, together with Japan, of course. Interesting to see how China going in totally different direction. Right? 0 medals from China. Is the country with more population, obviously.
History
is the country with more resources. Is the country the most aggressive in many ways from the fencing point of view, heaps of clubs and so on. 0 medals is a big thing to digest for a country like this. It must mean something. I like Hong Kong and Japan. They didn't mix with the European knowledge, and I think that can make a difference. And if I may, I believe the mixed style that both Hong Kong and Japan have produced in the last few years, I think is a winning factor, while insisting on some old fashion ideas. I don't think it's paying off much. That's my personal opinion. On 0 medal was also Germany, a great country, but again, much smaller population than China, but a country that usually have produced medals in the past, so that's actually strange. Italy and France, they won 1 each. They won respectively 5 and 7 medals altogether. I think they missed some extra medals they could have won. Italy got about 4 or 5 fourth places. They didn't win in women foil teams or individual where they were the large 5 favorites, because they're the strongest, but obviously something went wrong there. Yet 5 medals and 1 gold is not bad. But France and Italy, I think they expected more. And then some other countries that normally you wouldn't see, but this is the new world of fencing, with Tunisia, with the medal, Ukraine, fantastic comeback of Olga Karlan. We know what's happening in Ukraine, and so I think any person who's got some sense inside and a little bit of knowledge of history, and cheers for Ukraine. How hard is for them to even train. I don't even know how they did. I know the Sabre team, including Olga, they work in Bologna in Italy with the Italian coach who was the coach of the whole team. So a great gold medal for the team and bronze for Olga Karlan. The épée victory from Hong Kong was amazing.
Incredible,
I
right?
think it's incredible. I think it's special. The double of Chung and Kiefer, winning second time in a row in foil, I believe is also extraordinary. Although the match with Chung, let me say it, despite being Italian, I think it could have gone the other way.
Despite being Italian.
Despite being Italian, but it's not about cheating. Chung is an amazing champion. I think some decisions could have gone differently and the champion would be somebody else. Regardless, Chung is the best fencer of the last 10 years for sure. So he deserves this and he deserves more, all the more to come. Maki did an amazing match regardless. One more, Hungary won men's épée. That's an old school, it's good, it's almost normal, let's say. Korea confirmed in men's sabre their domination.
No one's touching them, I don't think.
More
right?
or less, it's 3 Olympic Games in a row, 4 World Championships, something amazing. It's a clear domination with different interprets all the time. So what to say, fencing is gone very worldwide, and many countries can win medals also because some of them train in different countries, they don't train in their own country. I think in Australia we need to think about ourselves, train here. Sometimes people will travel, sometimes people will live overseas, but the roots need to be built here. And so it's important for us. We look after our fencers and we'll try to one day to have somebody at the Olympic Games, and why not maybe build a medal, but it can be done just inside a club. You need the whole structure to support all the rest.
True, but I guess if you want to talk about that sort of side, then where does it come to when you think about how to lead? What would you? Obviously, there's been some changes recently in the scape of things, but I still want to know what you think the right approach is when it comes to leading, even just the academy here. Where do you see us growing? Obviously, it's a fantastic opportunity we've got now. We've got our freedom, I guess, if you want to say like that. Where do you want to?
I remember. You keep pushing me in a direction, but I stay on the positive side. I remember one person that is the most inspiring person for me from my life of a sport person. Is an Argentinian guy who coaches volleyball, and he was hired from Italy volleyball 30 years ago, and they were telling him, oh, we can win because of this, because of that, because of that. And he said, are you sure that maybe you don't win because you're not playing a good volleyball? Short story, he just won the Olympic Games with Italy with the volleyball female team, and he did 3 or 4 world championships he won with Italy men and so on. Anyway, one of the most successful coaches in history. I believe it's about the quality of fencing, and the quality of fencing is mostly produced by good coaches. All the rest of creating structures that supposedly are helping, or fake traps like nutritionists and physical trainers and all these things, these are just something to attract people to justify certain choices. Truth is, you need good coaches, you need good fencers, because the good fencers come from fencing in a certain way. We proved before that that this can be done, but the quality of the coaching cannot be taken away. To just use coaches as pawns that are interchangeable, I don't believe that's the right trick. And then you need to respect the territory. The territory means Australia is a very far away country, so it means that together we can do something, but we need to do it here first, rather than just traveling like a travel agency. There is the previous teams that show this. We've done some good results in sabre, some good results in épée, even in the past years. And in foil, men foil was top 12 in the world for a few years. That was created in a very organic way, was created at home And then overseas, we produce some good fencing, fencing head-to-head with France, with Italy, top teams who won world championships. Things can be done, but people are not interchangeable. It's too important, the competence of people and the talent of fencers, of course.
But I think also it's even the quality of leadership. I feel like because I was there for this this era, if you like, as a sort of at the tail end of my career. And I remember when you were building it, and I remember that it was felt you were very direct in a good way with what you felt needed to be the right ways to lead a team and to grow everyone. Even with the even with the people that we would fight against at nationals, historically been Black Lords and Rob and all that. I remember you were always very clear with the moment that we went overseas. You had you took the direction a certain way.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. I believe a leader needs to have two main qualities. One, to know where he's going, and that requires competence and honesty, intellectual honesty. And then he needs to be able to explain things to people, because if a leader is not understood, is not passing any message, he cannot convince the team to go in a certain direction. And the leader needs to be the competent in fencing in this case. A leader cannot be somebody who's not a coach. So that's a clear thing. We started together, and I'm happy that you mentioned another club from another state and so on, because when I was national coach, I really wanted everybody to improve. And my best satisfaction was not just to see the fencers I was coaching daily growing, but even the ones who I wasn't coaching daily, because we've done things amazing, and they know it. They know it, and the results were there to speak. It wasn't easy, but we did. The shame is that was the beginning for me. I think we were not even halfway through our pathway. We could have built on top of that. But, life is life, and we always need to think about what we have and not what we don't have, or what we could have had, and so on. So I'm very happy with the way things are. I've done my part. I hope my contribution was important. But when I say mine, it was ours, because there was a team of fencers, including you when you were younger. It was done a big job, and it was nice. All of you believed in something, and you were going in one direction. And I think we've shown people. We earned the people's respect. These were words of the top fencers and top coaches in the world. They're coming to us and say, wow, where did you come from? And so merit to Australia, to Australian fencers, Australian coaches, other coaches who worked with me in that era. So that was nice. Going back to us, we keep teaching fencing, and that's what matters. That's what we like most. Everybody does his own job. Our task is here at the academy now, and we try to do our best without looking at what other people are doing.
All right. Well, I think that we call it coffee time. You have tea.
That's very true, and that's almost shameful. But if I get the third coffee in a day, then night I can jump up and down.
Okay.
And there's no more Olympic Games to watch. But I like the cup because it says coach. It was from one of the kids, so that's why I liked it.
You should go so you can finish it. But we'll be back. Hopefully we can keep this as a regular thing. I think it's a good way to catch up with everyone, right?
Absolutely. We would like to see you every week, and we'll talk more about the academy, about what's happening in the fencing world. We bring you results. We bring you results nationally, internationally. Maybe we talk even about other topics, not just fencing. Hope to see you soon.